Welcome to ArcGIS Story Maps. This is a short presentation to teach how to create ArcGIS Story Maps. That is a platform with immersive stories that combines text, interactive maps, and other multimedia content. The whole idea of this presentation is that our students can create the story maps for the team projects. The first thing that you need to do is to go to StoryMaps, ArcGIS.com, and then you will see this opening screen. When you try to sign in, you will get the sign in screen. When you click this button, you will go to this screen. If you don't have an account in ArcGIS Story Maps, then you have to create a public account with a username and password. When you enter, you will see the stories screen, and this is your first time, you will not see any story. But in your case, we're going to create a new story by hitting this green button in the right side of the screen. When you click New Story, you will have two options. Start from the beginning, that we're going to discuss later, and Quick Start, that emphasize three special screens that you can start using right away. The first one is the sidecar. That is an immersive block that lets you show an image, small or full screen, with a scrolling narrative panel in the left side. In this area, you can add a title, subtitle, text, pictures, videos, and we want to see more of these later. The second option is a guide tour of the map. You can create a map, and then you can add points to the map that you can add to the left side scrolling area, and you can insert pictures, videos, links, and text of the specific point in your map. This is going to be very useful if you are highlighting a map of a specific country, a city, or an area or landmark that you want to emphasize. The last option for the quick start is to create a map that you can add points, and you can list all the points on the left side, and then you can scroll or you can select a specific point in the map. But let's assume that you don't want to use any of these quick start features and you want to start from scratch. Then you select Start from the Beginning. When you go to the button Start from the Beginning, you will have several options, and we want to explore all of them. The first part is that you have to title your story. Add a title that you can always modify later. Then you will add a short introduction or subtitle that is going to be always under the title of your story. You will see your name and the date of your final edits. Below this opening, you will see a green plus button that is the beginning of your story. When you select this button, you will see several options that you can choose. We have three parts of the menu that you can select. The basic functions start with a text. Similar to Word or a Google document, you can add all text you want, add bold, italic, and change the text to be a heading or a subheading. This is the easiest part of the creation of your story. The other two basic buttons, you use it if you need it. But let's move for media, because this is the most exciting part of the story map. In the media tab, you can start selecting a map, and you will see several options, several sizes, several backgrounds of maps that you can zoom in, zoom out, scroll, and create your very specific map with points, interactive points, where you can add data, pictures, images, infographics, videos, and links. The second option that we want to see, the third option that we want to see here, are the immersive tools. The immersive tools are not only graphical and visual, but also interactive, and they can be modified anytime. The first one, that is the one that we are also using for this presentation, is called the slideshow. The slideshow allows you to move using arrows from left to right and show the slides similar to a PowerPoint. The sidecar is a very useful, interactive, immersive tool that allows you to create the presentation with an image, a big picture of the area, and then in the left side or the right side, depending what you pick, you can add a sidecar that is going to scroll, when you can have a title, subtitle, images, videos, links, and a narrative. This is the beautiful part of the tools that you can use to add real interaction to your pictures and stories. The last tool is the map tool that we already mentioned, when you can have a specific map with points, pictures, videos, links, and text, all together in one immersion screen that create a lot of interactivity. When you select a title and a subtitle, you also get the option to create a cover image. The cover image of this presentation is half of a screen. You see the image on the top and the title and the subtitle on the bottom. This example is a full screen image cover, where you can see the letters of the title and the subtitle on top of a full screen picture. These are examples where you can see different ways to use the text with italic on the or bold on the top, and images from Google Maps that can select to create on the left side the title, the description, etc. This is a different kind of map with a sidecar, when I can create a map of an area that I want to emphasize different points, and each one of the points I can add a narrative, a picture, a video, and a link. This is called a map tour, and you can have two options: a big map with a small narrative, or a big narrative area with a small map. You can use Express Map. That's an easy way to create a map. Also to do a sequence of pictures or a sequence in a route. For example, here in this wastewater plant, we want the students to go to point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 8, showing pictures of each one of the stages of the water process. This is an example where we use a big picture or a big video on a small map, where we tell the students to go to the different points in the map to explore the delta of a river as they approach the sea. This is another example of the soy card, where you see the emphasis is on the picture with only a small description with a title that describes what is in the picture. This is another example. Similar to the soy card is a slideshow, where you see the full screen of an image, and then on the left side you see the title and some description and a link. And this is the example that we are using for this, how to create an ArcGIS Story Map presentation. We are using the slideshow feature. Finally, at the end of your presentation, you have the option to create a title, a subtitle, add links, and include the names and links of the persons involved in the project. In our case, you can add your professor and the name of the students in the team. This is an example on how I use the credit area to emphasize the website, the name, and the credit to the pictures I use from Instagram. When you finish your presentation, you have to see that from time to time is automatically saved, but is private. Only you can see the story. In order to share the story with the rest of the class, I have created a group sharing area that is called Global Story Maps Campus for students, where you are going to be invited and you want to get a link, and then you can publish your story there. When you publish the story, you will get a link that you can share. That link, you have to post it inside your group discussion area, the course discussion area, and here in the group sharing area. At the end of the class, you have two options. Or you remove your group and make it private so we don't see it anymore. Or my recommendation is to keep it public and use it as your portfolio for future courses, employees, or employers, and people that you want to show your work in college. This is the last slide of this presentation, and then we go back to the main area, and you can see here that when you make your story map public, you get a short URL that you can share with others. You're going to use this URL to share it with the class, with your team, and in our group for sharing the maps. That has been a short presentation of our course, how to create ArcGIS Story Maps using ArcGIS Story Maps.